DC, welcome to the Orbit. It is Friday, May 24th. We've got stocks higher today. We're up about 0.25%. That is not much of a move inside the expected move. We saw a lot of volatility over the last 24 to 48 hours, or a lot more than we had seen recently over the last couple of weeks. Perhaps there's some realized volatility coming back into the market. However, if you look at that chart, we are not very far off from that sideways range. So we've gone, we've tried to break out, up here the other day. We tried to sell off here, got bought. We tried to break out on NVIDIA's earnings yesterday morning, got sold. We sold off, looked pretty ugly into the close yesterday, starting to get bought back. We'll see if this holds, but 52.80, if this creeps back up to 5300 at the close, that would again show those conditions of long gamma. And every time the market's down, there's some buyers. Every time the market's up, there's some sellers. That's the conditions we've been in for at least a week and a half. We had that NVIDIA earnings yesterday, which was a very odd situation where everybody was looking at NVIDIA for an overall kind of vibe check in the market, which it was going to take the market higher or take the market lower with it. NVIDIA stock was up and it kept going up and it looked really nice throughout most of the day. The market started higher with it and then found sellers, and the market kind of got ugly into the close, or at least uglier than we've seen in some time. The SPX, let's go in there real quick. There's a good think that yesterday was the beginning of a little bit of a pullback. Obviously, there are some put spreads and all. The volatility right now is 20 IV for 0DTE, which is not very high, but it is a lot higher than we saw the last couple of days. We were seeing 0DTE vol closer to 12. 20 is a sort of more normal 0DTE vol. If we go out to next week, vols are quite low, and they ticked up a little bit yesterday, but they still have the 3-day weekend to deal with. So when you come out here and you come out to the 28th, 29th, we're seeing 8 IV there on the 29th, 8 IV on the 30th. Now, that is options market makers and options traders accounting for the 3-day weekend. You sit on options over a 3-day weekend and just watch them decay for 3 straight days. So therefore, what the market reacts and adjusts to that and lowers volatility going into the 3-day weekend. So if you were a buyer of options for next week, you're getting it at very low IV. Let's look at some intraday. Let's look at a call spread up to, this takes you up to the 5,300 level. You can make 1250. That is 20 wide. As far as put spreads to the downside, that is taking you down to the 5260 level, which is basically around where we saw the lows yesterday. The market kind of held right there at 5260, and we are up about 20 points from there, that intraday low. If you are looking for the market to retest those lows, you were looking at 600 to make 1400 if it gets at or below that at the close. As far as neutral trading and credit trading, let's look at a credit call spread here, 5,300 level. So let's look. This is a 5,300, 5,305. So this is selling the chance if the market does rally. And you could wait to see if the market got up closer to 5,300 and put something on up above that level, 5,300, 5,305, risking 4 to make 1. The same is going to be true down at those levels from yesterday, and selling the 5,360 put. And obviously, you can put those together, and you're looking at an iron condor 5,300 as the short call. You obviously could take that call up to protect above that 5,300 level if you think the market has a decent chance of getting up to that level today. But there you have it. You're risking about 3 to make 2 on an iron condor. Let's take this a little wider. Now we are at the 5310. So now we've got 5310, short put 5260. You can see that kind of risk reward is getting closer to 400 to 100. So you can play around with this on the platform, but as you can see, the market liked the recent data release, and we are up to 5290. So we are now up about 0.4% on the day, which is in line with the expected move and what options we're pricing for today.